Hi. Today I figured we can make a Keurig pod ladder to store your pods on. What you'll need, you don't have to have these pods, but I got two of them. I brought two of them with me. Tape measure, a regular square, and a combination square. These combination squares, I love them. 6-inch and 12-inch. I use the 6-inch probably the most. I have a 12-inch, but I don't really use it that much. Pencil. These little boogers, they like to go missing. I don't know why. Type on 3 wood glue and brad nails, 1-inch brad nails. Now, if you don't want to use the brad nails, you don't have to. You can just glue it and clamp it together and leave it sit for a little while. I'm going to glue it and brad nail it. Sometimes I get a little impatient. And if I run out of 1-inch brad nails, I have another box sitting right here beside me. So, what we're going to do, right now I'm going to set this all to the side, is with the material, if you can get a 1x2 that's about 6 foot long, you can get all your pieces cut out of that, just that one. But if you're not able to get a 1x2, that's fine. These big box stores, oh goodness, you can go and pick out a 2x4 that's 2 foot long, a 2x4 that's 3 foot long, and 4 foot long. And since I don't have a pickup, I have a car, I get the shorter pieces. So, out of one 2x4 that's 2 foot long, you can get all these pieces just out of that one piece. And I think they're under $2. $1.50, $1.75, somewhere around in there. Or they are in my area anyway. So, the pieces you'll need, with the 2x4, I just take it and rip it down. All these pieces are 1.5 by 3/4. You'll have 5 that are 8 inches long, and you'll have 2 that are 15 inches long. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to take my two 15-inch pieces, and I'm going to set my combination square to 2 inches and measure up. And to make it a little easier, put these side by side, make sure they're flush, and I'll show you. Measure up, make sure they're flush, and measure up 2 inches. And again, make sure this right here is flat against the surface. That way you know you've got a 90-degree angle. Now, here's why I use this and have them both to the side, or side by side, is you can take your regular square and line it up with your mark, and again, make sure these are flush, and mark all the way across both pieces. Now, you want to set your combination square to 1 inch and 5/8. And you want to measure it from the top of this piece right here. Well, can't set the combination square. This is where you need a tape measure. But you want to set this piece on this side of that line, on the top side of that line, and make sure it's lined up, and then measure up 1 inch and 5/8 and measure that out. And again, you want to do this until you have all 5 lines lined up. Just go, make sure you put it on that side of the line and measure 5/8, or 1 5/8, I'm sorry. And putting the two 15-inch pieces side by side and doing it this way, you've already got it done, and you know it should be level on both, or even on both sides. So line it up again and measure 1 5/8. Just make sure your both pieces are flush. Then measure 1 5/8 again. And this will give you the last one. So now you can set this to the side. You can set this to the side. Set this to the side. You don't need your pencil anymore. Now, all you need to do is just set them on end like that, and do like a kind of like a dry fit, and make sure everything is lined up really good. And that's usually what I do before I glue it, is I look at it and get my pieces set to where I want them to be. So this way, one, I can look and see which way I want to have this thing sitting. And then there's all your pieces. And these right here should line right up, just like so. And these right here should fit in between all of them without a problem. And I got two, so that way I can. So now we need to glue them up. So what I'm going to do is I just put like a little bit of glue just above each of those lines. Then I'm going to set it up on end like that and line these up with the marks that we made. And if you have a little bit of squeeze out, that's okay. And this glue is going to kind of run, and that's okay too. Just make sure you have like a wet cloth, or a damp cloth, I should say. And then I'm going to firmly hold it. I'm going to bring it closer to my edge. Firmly hold it in place and nail it. Oh, firmly hold it in place and try not to, and keep your fingers away from where you're going to be nailing, because it will hurt. And my gun has got to get warmed up. Make sure it's just lined up. On all the pieces. Oh! My nail gun, I think, is starting to give out on me. I've had that thing, about 4 years. 4 or 5 years now, maybe a little longer. I bought it because I remodeled one of the rooms in our house, and I needed something to do the trim work. And oh, well, there is that side. So now, kind of wipe off any glue that may have come out. And now, I'm going to do the same thing on this side. And if you're wanting to stain this, you got to make sure you get all the glue off, all the squeeze out, because the stain does not really adhere to the glue. So if you go stain and you don't get all the glue off, you're going to have a clear piece or a clear spot where it's supposed to be clean. Oh. I think I'm going to have to end up getting me a new one. I'm out of brads. Now, make sure when you go to open up your chamber, make sure you take your battery out, because these things, it has not happened to me, but I have heard war stories about how these things will go off, end up developing a mind of their own. Today's technology, you never know. Now, anytime I refill it, I always put it like on the side of a table just to make sure it's ready to go and ready to fire. I'm going to, this clamp's a little overkill, but it's one I got close by. I am going to clamp, put some pressure on this to help me hold it in place. Because this one right here, I may have cut it bad, which is very possible. So, move this down here. This is a 2-foot clamp, and I will tell you, you can never have enough clamps. I am a firm believer of that, and there's nothing anybody can do or say to convince me otherwise. Now move this one a little bit closer to the end one. And voila. There. We have our little ladder. You can take it and push these down, make sure they're all in there. I'll just give it a good clamp. Good squeeze. It's always good to have a good squeeze. But I think I need to probably set these in the clamps for a little while. But anyhow, here is your ladder. And again, like I said, if you want to stain this, you can. But again, to me, I like the natural look. I'll probably give it a good sanding again. And that's one thing too, is I forgot to mention, is while your material is whole, sand it. It just makes it a lot easier than to try to sand this after you get it put together, because it'll be kind of fun trying to, you know, getting those little spots right there. So here it is. And here you can put your little Keurig cups in there, and that's all there is to it. Now you got your cute decorative piece and set up on your counter, and that's it. You guys have a great day.